right, welcome back, explorers, to another exciting episode as we continue our journey through EPCOT on Exploration and Imagination. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Kelly.
There you go. And we are continuing our trip through EPCOT. Hopefully you joined us for our last episode. And if not, what have you been doing?
What are you doing?
Why would you join us halfway through our trip?
It's super weird.
It's weird. You're just making it awkward now. It's just awkward.
It's kind of weird.
Stare straight into your eyes while you say it.
I don't like it.
No.
Anywho.
Yeah, so we were leaving England. We were going across the giant bridge.
That is right.
And we were entering La France.
La France.
La France.
Le Paris.
Yes. So, we were in search of food at this point because we were getting a little hungry. But we did go check out Remy's. It was posting a tremendous wait because it is the newest in ride.
I believe it was over 2 hours.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So, we decided just to skip it. We looked in the beauty of that back section that opened up. Yep. We thought we might get a crepe, but that line was kind of ridiculous as well.
And just so everybody knows, we will do Remy's at some point.
And we will do the crepe place.
Yes. And the crepe place. So that is, we definitely want to try it out, but... we did get to the park pretty late,
yes.
So we wanted to get to as much stuff as possible.
Yes. And we were hungry, so...
There's that.
We needed the food. But we did take a right after looking at the Remy area, and we went deeper into the France, where the restaurants and such were busy as well. Kelly went and got some...
I got a champagne mixed with a cognac drink. It was absolutely delicious.
Yeah, it was really good.
Highly recommend. Did not think I would like it, but it looked interesting, so I wanted to try it. And we are all about exploring new things.
Especially within the alcohol.
So I definitely I tried something new. It was delicious. Highly recommend. It is in the wine bar. They have a little wine bar that is on the right hand side as you walk back.
Yes.
And it's right before the main shop that's there.
Yeah. So in the back you have the main shop, and it's got a little eatery in the back as well. That line was all the way out the door, so obviously we did not get food there. We did walk around the shop a little bit, see some of the merchandise.
And I made them wait on me while I waited in line for a drink.
Yes, and we were trying to make reservations online for food. The only one available was Spice Road, but all they have is kind of a tapas, like small dishes. And to wait 30 minutes for small dishes, we weren't really up for that at the time.
No, and also the Morocco area, probably one of our... kind of the ones that we miss a lot, unfortunately. It's just we're gonna probably have to try it out at some point. But that's just not neither one of our cup of tea.
No, it's not. We're not really into those type of spices. We're gonna give it a try, of course, but not that day.
Not that day. Again, we're gonna try to find a time when it's a little less busy.
Yeah.
So we ended up in Japan, and I won an argument in Japan.
Yes. I mistakenly thought the sake place in the back was still open. That's my bad. It's where we salute and all that kind of stuff before.
We did?
I saw a weird counter in the back. I thought it was for the sake. It was my mistake.
It is not. And also, I would like to point out about this gift shop. I think it's one of the biggest gift shops in the park.
It is, and it's got a lot of weird stuff, but it also has some fun stuff.
Yeah, so the Japanese pavilion, they do a lot of cool...
Yes.
Cool merchandise, I would say. They have a lot of different things, obviously, from Japan. And there's a lot of even katana swords. They have this for sale there. You can buy chopsticks. You can buy...
Pokemon, bonsais, Buddha boards. You got all kinds of stuff. It's kind of cool in there. It's huge.
It's a huge shop.
Yep.
Then up top is the kind of like a... we call it Kobe here, but what is the famous one that they have up in New York, where they do the cooking on the grill in the middle, like hibachi.
Hibachis, yes.
Yeah, so they have a hibachi restaurant up top.
Yeah, and it's good. I like that.
It is good. I enjoy it.
It is reservation.
It's reservation only.
Make sure you know. They will rarely take walk-ups. I think they do have like a little side restaurant up there up top as well. I'm not 100%.
The noodles place, or
I don't remember what it is. You're thinking of the new one that's off to the left.
Yep.
Not the right. That one we tried to go to. They have just some small ramen noodle douches.
And they have also chicken wings, which I've had there before. Delicious.
Yep, it is good. We didn't eat there that day because the line was all the way down the hill.
Yep, and we were also trying to get some sake because we're both very big fans of sake.
Yep.
And that line was all the way down the hill. So we did not end up with sake, but we had a angry Julie with us, so we had to get some food.
Yeah, so we got pretzels right next door.
Yes, that's
exactly. Yeah, so we got the pretzels, and they were good. They were good pretzels. Yes. I do prefer their pretzels over Universal pretzels. Universal pretzels are usually covered in salt.
And this one came with a very, very large cheese cup.
Yes, the cheese cup is worth it. Universal's cheese cups, minuscule compared to Disney's.
So delicious.
But it was amazingly good. It might have been just because we were starving, but I mean,
we were all very hungry.
So
we were all very hungry.
We were hungry. It was down to that minute, almost like a bomb going off, where you're sitting there sweating, going, "Did we get it in time?
We gotta get it. We gotta get it. We got it though.
We got it. We got it.
We were in there like swimwear.
Yep. And that brought us to the American Pavilion. We didn't hang around for the drummers or anything. They are back. They're on a limited time, but that's a good show as well if you want to catch it.
And also, you have the American Experience.
The American Experience, yes. It is a great show. Animatronics, almost like Hall of Presidents. It goes through the history of America. It's got a nice catchy song at the end of it that goes on almost like Canada's.
Almost like Canada's.
But I prefer that one over Canada's because we don't say America 500 times.
Yes.
So yeah.
There is that. It's also a great show. The seats are very comfortable for someone needing a relaxing few minutes of the day. For the older folks or the younger folks that it's just hot outside and you want to go inside and sit down, watch a nice show, and just relax for a little bit.
Yep. They actually moved the art at Disney because since everything's in construction up front, the art store that used to be up front next to Spaceship Earth is actually in the back in the American Pavilion.
Wow.
So, if you want some art...
Finding this out right now as I learn.
Yeah. You didn't listen to me that day. I told you it was back there.
I had a beer in my hand.
You know what? But, so if you want your art, I do recommend they have some cool pieces. I own some pieces because they are amazing. And they are limited. You will actually see a number on them because they don't just make... I mean, they do make prints, but the actual art itself is numbered. Yes, they only sell so many of them.
It's a great store.
Yeah, it's a great store.
I love that store as well.
And then on the other side of the American Experience is the new Regal Eagle Smokehouse. We have not been there yet. We had just had a pretzel.
We had a pretzel.
We were satisfied for the moment. But we will try out Regal Eagle eventually.
We will try out Regal Eagle eventually, but have not had the privilege and the
Yep, it is a
pleasure.
barbecue American-themed place by Sam Eagle from the Muppets.
That's why it's the pleasure.
It is going to be an experience when we go because I know I'm a Muppets fan. Old school Muppets. I'm going to specify. I don't like the new Muppet stuff that's been coming out, but I am an old school Muppet show with Jim and all them.
I hope that Sam Eagle is involved highly because he's one of my favorite characters.
Yes, Sam Eagle is awesome. I know he is the judge of it, and then everyone else is contestants of the different sauces they make.
Oh,
so
very interesting.
It will be fun when we do go. I'm excited, and I hope they don't disappoint me.
Me too. Because barbecue is my specialty.
You love your barbecue.
Anyway, so then we moved on to my favorite part of the World Showcase, and that is Italy.
Yes, Italy.
Italy. So I love Italy. It's probably my favorite section. One, I just love Italian food. Two, I think the architecture is gorgeous.
Yes,
I think they did a very good job with it. And I think the fountain that they put up is also very pretty. Now, one of the places that I really love in Italy, it's kind of never really that busy because you don't really know it's there, is their wine bar.
Yes.
It's next to Tutto Italia.
Yes, you do have to wait in line. So make sure you get in the correct line because there are two lines.
There are two lines.
And it's once again grab and go. You can't stay there. And I know you were disappointed because you can't get your little tapas, your little side dish.
So they used to have a very, very good charcuterie board, and it had probably 5 to 6 different meats, also different cheeses, and you could sit down at the tables and eat, and the bartenders would serve you, and a lot of great, fantastic food. But that's no longer available.
It's just drinks.
It's just drinks now. So we did have some great mixed drinks. Another one of the 3 places you can get a full bar at Walk Up.
I would say you had the Italian martini.
I had the Italian martini.
And then myself and Julie had the espresso martini.
Which
is a little dangerous because you don't taste any of the alcohol until it hits you. And then you're pretty much gone by that point. It just tastes like an iced coffee.
And they were very strong drinks.
Bartenders were great. They were awesome.
And they were Italian gentlemen. So
they were great.
It was very authentic in there.
They were making fun of each other. They were playing around. They were having fun.
Highly recommend going there. You do wait in line, but I would say it was like 3 people deep. We went in there and checked it out. We got the drinks and we had to get out, just like the Rose and Crown.
It's standing room when you're at the bar. They do have tables behind you, but they look like they were reserved for the restaurant.
Part of Tutto Italia.
So just keep in mind, if you do get to they will look at you weird if you go towards a table and you were in the other line.
So once you leave, we went out there and we decided, these were delicious drinks. So we stood there and talked and watched the people walk by. We saw some interesting things. Yep. And we ended up at Germany.
Yes, Germany. I love Germany.
Yes.
It's great in there. They have a whole bunch of glassware you can buy, which is a little dangerous after you've been drinking. I felt like a parent with a child that needed his medicine running around in there sometimes.
With me? Oh yeah.
Kay was picking up stuff.
But I did pick up this right here. I got this shirt on for those that are actually watching us. And it is an awesome shirt. It says beer, it's cheaper than gas.
Yep. So you're between that and another one that just had all the alcohol.
Yeah,
right?
But this one is very comfortable, and I thought this one was funnier.
Yeah, you do like the comedy.
Yeah, so beer is cheaper than gas, but the best time, in both of our opinions, to go to Germany is during a festival. Correct.
Yeah, Oktoberfest. And during the food and wines and stuff, they do have their own version of Oktoberfest as well there.
And they do a beer garden.
They do a beer garden and such. And it's awesome. It's a pretty good place.
We both love it during a festival time. They have a whole section set up where little sitting areas with picnic tables and everything. And they have a wide assortment of beer.
Yes. And we saw them all setting up for it for the next upcoming event. So we will be going back.
We will definitely be back. After that, we went over to, I believe we ended up eating dinner at
Nine Dragons over in China.
Nine Dragons.
Yeah. Or was it Nine Dragons? Or no, the Lotus.
We went to the Lotus.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we were going to stop in the outpost, the African outpost section, because I like getting the brown elephant there, the drink. But by that time, I figured we needed food more than alcohol. So we bypassed it. But I do recommend, if you're at the outpost, of getting the meat pies and the brown elephant.
Yes, he also, disclaimer, everything he's going to suggest is very dark beers, because that's what he likes.
Yeah, brown elephant's more of a mixed drink than a dark beer, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't had that.
Yeah, you need to try it.
Okay, well, we're going to try it next time.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
But yeah, we went to China. Beautiful pavilion. It's got all the water and stuff. They got the show.
Pavilion.
We didn't have time to do the show, but we did go to get food. At the
Lotus
Blossom, I believe.
The Lotus Blossom. That's the quick service walk up. The Nine Dragons was full. Like everything was full again. Again, very busy here in Orlando right now.
Yes.
So the Lotus had delicious. It's got four meals: Mongolian beef, orange chicken,
fried rice,
chicken fried rice, or is it pork fried rice? I don't know. I think it's chicken fried rice.
I think it's chicken. Yeah.
Chicken fried rice, and then they had a. There was one more. It was like a vegetable dish or something.
I I don't remember. I don't remember the 3. I think you're thinking of the kids menu.
Oh, it was the kids menu. You're right. So then they also have their egg rolls were delicious.
Oh, the egg
now
rolls.
the egg rolls were.
You do have 2 appetizer options, and that's egg rolls and pot stickers.
And we got pot stickers as well.
Because the egg rolls come with the main courses anyway.
So we got pot stickers. Absolutely liked everything. The pot stickers were a little doughy.
They were a little doughy. They almost needed a little bit more steaming. But they're I love pot stickers. You can't usually go wrong with pot stickers.
I mean, it's a pot sticker, right?
Pot sticker.
A bad pot sticker is still a good pot sticker. Right?
I don't know. I've had some frozen ones that are a little weird.
Yeah, that's true. But, it's Disney. It's not frozen. Come on.
Not very frozen.
Let it go. Let it go. So we went over to... then we went over to Norway. Norway. And that is where the wonderful and mysterious land of Norway has the Frozen ride.
Yes. So, I mean, I'm a little bittersweet on this one because I love the Maelstrom. I love the Trolls. That was a classic for me. I loved that ride. And then I'm kind of torn because my cousin, who's an Imagineer, also worked on that one. So it's a juxtaposition. I mean, I will forever miss the Trolls. It always has a place.
I also did love Maelstrom. Was one of my. I distinctly remember being afraid of Maelstrom when I was a kid because of the Trolls. So,
yes.
I liked Maelstrom. So.
See, it wasn't the Trolls that scared me. It was the end scene with the oil rig and the lightning and the water. That always freaked me out because I think one of my fears deep down is probably being alone at sea with nothing around me.
Oh, well.
And I think I'm just starting to realize that, or probably why I didn't like that scene out of everything. Trolls popping out of places, fine. Alone in the water, not cool. And imagine Disney used to have a lightning strike.
Yeah, they did have a lightning strike.
And then someone went, we have water.
Yeah.
This is a bad idea.
But I used to also love the part where you went backwards down the chute, and then it would turn, and then it would go down forward.
I mean, it still does that. It still goes backwards, technically.
Yeah, it does.
You're
right. You're right.
It does technically still go backwards. It's just, I mean, I think we're not young. We weren't in the hip thing of
We weren't
Frozen.
the Frozen group.
No.
Right? We're not the Frozen group.
I mean...
But people clearly love it because it's been around for, I don't know, 5-6 years now?
I do wish they would have made that, because they have an Arendelle section next to Norway, which is a bathroom.
Yeah.
I wish they would have put a ride over there and left Maelstrom alone, because it's one of those things where I feel like almost...
It represented Norway.
It represented Norway, and we're slowly ripping away the representation of these lands and throwing movies in, going, we did a movie that somewhat relates to this. Yeah, cool.
Which I can't believe.
Great,
honestly, I can't believe it. I've always waited for it. I can't believe they've never done a Mulan ride.
Give it 10 years, they'll design it. And up to other 10 years, it'll build.
So about 25 years from now.
25 years, we'll have a Mulan ride. It'll be great.
It's going to be great.
It'll be great.
By that time, they'll have redone the movie 3 more times.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
So,
it'll be great.
Anyway, after that, after we went to Norway, we hit Mexico. So now I have to stop in Mexico every time. It is a tradition. There is no negotiation.
Yeah, no. I mean, Mexico's beautiful inside.
First, it's gorgeous inside, and the architecture outside is gorgeous.
Yeah, no,
I mean, I was actually admiring it yesterday.
Yeah. At night, it's beautiful.
It is gorgeous when the lights are shooting up on the pyramid. It's really awesome.
Now, don't get me wrong. Everything is very nice, very pretty. But at night, everything is just extra fucking special.
Yeah. I would say every country is probably extra special, but Mexico probably looks the coolest at night.
Yeah, I mean, they all have these beautiful lights, and I think that it's just underappreciated how great these things look at night, and everyone just sees them during the day.
Yeah, it's true.
But, yeah, so I love inside Mexico.
Inside Mexico is amazing. Now, if you haven't been, it looks like a street fair in Mexico.
Yeah, it looks like a nighttime in Mexico street fair. It's great. It has a restaurant inside. It has a
delicious restaurant.
Has a tequila bar inside.
And now that's my favorite.
And then you got a ride inside and some shops.
Yeah.
Now, the restaurant is hit or miss for me. It depends on who the chef is. There's sometimes I've gone in there and it's been out of the park. There's sometimes where the chef has been on a little thing and I've had cold tacos. And I told him, hey, this feels like it's been sitting out for a little while. And they had to take it back and re-shovel whatever it was into there.
Wow. I've only...
So, for me, it's been hit or miss.
Okay.
Now, the Tequila Bar, it's Tequila Bar.
Now, Tequila Bar. Now we're talking my room, folks.
And it's going to pass it off to
all right, so the Tequila Bar, you have to walk in there. When you walk in, you're going to go right. Not left at all. Don't go left. You're going to go right. And you have to stay along the wall.
Yeah, that when the line reaches, because it's always a long line.
Because it's always a long line. There's never not a line at the Tequila Bar.
It stretches up towards the entranceway of Mexico, and it's off to the right.
Yes, and it goes up the ramp. So,
yeah.
And if you do not get in line back there, they will not let you in line because there is a Disney cast member watching you like a hawk.
Yes.
So you go through the line. They have some awesome margaritas there. My personal favorite. Well, I did have one last. Oh, which one, man? There's so many. I do not like the avocado margarita. That's the one I don't like. But everything else is really, really good. Highly recommend. Always the bar staff is very, very good. They do knock out drinks very quickly. They are able to get people in and out of there as fast as possible. And do expect to pay quite a bit of money. I think the average drink there.
Disney.
I think the average drink there is $17.
Yeah, it's expensive, but once again, it's Disney.
It's Disney.
It's Disney.
And it is a true tequila bar. They have all kinds of different tequilas, including you can have a shot of tequila there for $147. I have done it before. I don't know why, but I did. But it is a very expensive tequila. So there is a lot of different really cool things that you can do in this particular bar, and you can actually get food in that bar.
Yes. Yeah. But they do ask you at the beginning if you're getting the food or the drinks. Because if you're just getting the drink, they're going to usher you to the left where the bar is itself. If you're getting food, you have to wait for a table to open up. So be advised, if you're just getting a drink, let them know that you're just getting a drink and that you're going to the bar. Otherwise, you might be waiting for that next table.
And they'll get you in and out quick if you're just getting a drink.
Yeah, if you're going to drink, they do it pretty quick.
So then after we left there, we were really, well, at least I was, very geeked up for the new Harmonious show.
Now, also in Mexico, they do have the boat ride.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the boat
ride. You can't forget about the boat ride.
Well, we just didn't do it yesterday.
We didn't do it, but I mean, we've done it enough over the years.
Well,
it
that's
hasn't changed.
That's true.
So it's the Three Caballeros. It used to just be the Mexico boat ride. I forget the name. El Tiempo de Rio.
El Tiempo de Rio.
Yep. So it's basically the same. All they did is they added the Three Caballeros looking for Donald throughout Mexico. It's about the same videos. They just added those figures in.
Yep.
The funniest thing is at the end though, with the Three Caballeros animatronics. If you haven't seen it over the years, there are many videos of them replacing them because those animatronics have had a hard time.
They've had a hard life.
They've had a hard life.
Those animatronics.
So I remember they replaced Donald with a bush with a sombrero on top at some point. They replaced all three of them with cardboard cutouts at some point.
That one was a good one.
I ride it sometimes just to see if they're even there, or if we got the tree again. Because the tree was the best one of the two Caballeros, and then Donald's was Will Bush.
Oh, the Bush, yeah.
It was the Bush.
Yeah, no, it's a great ride. It's a good little ride. Last night I think it was 30-minute wait.
Yeah, more than that.
It was more than that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Small World type of ride. You're on a boat, you're going through. It's a family-friendly ride, so everybody can go on, and it's really enjoyable. It just shows you, Mexican culture. It's beautiful. It's a gorgeous ride.
And it takes you right past the restaurant and such.
So you get to smell the delicious food.
Yeah. So it's good. It's a good experience.
It's
recommend.
a good experience. So as you're leaving, you do go back outside and you get to be right up next to the pyramid and get the big view straight up, which that was the prettiest view last night.
Yeah, that was great. After that, we actually went to go to the EPCOT Experience because we haven't done that one yet.
That's right.
If you don't know that, it's in the Odyssey building. The Odyssey building is the little building on the waterfront in between Mexico and
Test Track.
Yep. And it used to be a restaurant. Now they just do the show in there.
It hasn't been a restaurant long.
It has been. They do have some quick grab and go drinks and such in there now.
It's really an event center.
Yeah, basically. And they have some photo spots in there, and they have some seats if you want to sit down. But we went for the EPCOT Experience.
And that was very cool. And it was very interesting to me. It's basically what Epcot's gonna be, and question mark how long that's gonna take. But they have some very big plans for Epcot, which I'm excited about, because Epcot, it's probably my second favorite Disney park.
Okay.
Second favorite Disney park, and I love it. I love Epcot, so I'm excited for the new Guardians coming. They showed us obviously Remy's open, and then whatever they're going to be putting in this big centerpiece of
all of the Moana
future
stuff.
Something that you're talking about.
World Nature.
World Nature. There you go. Boom, done.
World Nature, the play center where it's taken over the old festival center behind Guardians. Guardians, they showed off. A couple of stuff in the different sections of World Showcase.
World Showcase, yep.
But other than that, it's good. They have a model in the middle that they did up for you. It's very pretty. It's not a very long show, so you can go in there, chill out,
see it, and head out.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing, just remember it can get crowded in there. So if you're bringing an ECV in, be aware of that. Also, be aware if you do have an ECV, if you are in a show of any kind. Realize how loud your backup horn is, because there's a guy who I think was just sitting on that backups thing and just beep, meep, 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 meep all through the show. I was like, oh my goodness. I was about to go help him out. I'd be like, sir, you need to put it back on.
Brandon gets pet peeves, folks.
I do have pet peeves.
Brandon has a lot of pet peeves.
Sitting there on your backup in the middle of a show is one of them. Because back in my day, you respected those around you. It echoes in there, by the way. Yeah. That's another thing. It wouldn't irritate me as much if it didn't echo in that room.
That's not true. It would irritate him just as much. But we also, then once we left there, we went to go find a place to watch the new fireworks show.
Yes, Harmonious.
So
the main good spots are actually taking for private dessert party things that Disney offers as a separate ticket event. Otherwise, you gotta fend for yourself along the waterway. Be warned, people will stake out their spot an hour before the show. Over an hour. We had a position right.
It was still light out when people were
out. So there were people napping along the edge so they could have a good spot. We are not those people
at all.
So we walked until we found a decent spot. It wasn't great, but it was decent by a tree. And we just staked there. Kelly went go got a beer, and we recorded the show. Did a good time.
No, I really enjoyed the show. I think it's better than Illuminations was. And it was. I love they have some cranes that are very interactive throughout the entire show. Brandon's smiling right now for those of you on the podcast because we definitely differ on
this show.
I like the show a lot.
So he likes the show a lot. I think it's a decent show, but I like Illuminations better. I do like Illuminations better. And the reason why was Illuminations, for me, was bringing all the worlds and Showcase together and showcasing the world. Whereas this one feels more like Disney going, we have movies based on different locations. Look, Mulan's is Asian. Hey, Moana's Hawaiian. Hey, Aladdin is from Agrabah. Come on.
But let's think about this logically there, Brandon. They're doing that with the rides. So why wouldn't they do that with the show?
Because Epcot was never about the movies. It was always supposed to be about the world showcase.
You're correct, but you're gonna have. So then you just have a problem with Epcot.
No, because
they're doing that to everyone. Remy's there now.
Remy's there now, but they still have Impressions de France and the Beauty and the Beast. They have other things there that showcase
Beauty and the Beast.
No, they still have it there, showcasing the actual land. It's not like they went in and replaced Impressions de France with Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. They added it in there as an addition, but they didn't full out replace it.
I will suggest for Disney, if they are listening to this, that they definitely won't be listening. But I will say, let's find a Canadian thing to replace that show with. Let's do it. Let's find a whole.
Not to help him out, but Brother Bear.
Brother Bear. All right, Brother Bear. Let's bring it on.
There you go.
Put Brother Bear in Canada, and that's going to be way better than Canada.
But yeah, For me, I liked Illuminations better because I like the mentality of let's bring the world together, let's show off the world itself, rather than look at our movies. We did Mulan 5 times.
Yes. So that is the idea, and that was the original idea of EPCOT. They are clearly going away from that. It's pretty obvious. So why not lean into it?
I mean, I could lean into it, but I mean, also I think it's an eyesore. Let's get into that.
Okay.
I think it is an eyesore.
That's what I was waiting for, folks.
So, if you don't know what it is, it's these barges with these cranes that shoot water out. Kind of cool. They have lights on them.
Not kind of.
They have a Stargate that sprays water down. Technology that's been around for years. Disney is really excited about it. But, Universal's been doing the water screens for how long now? Years. Several years.
It's 5-6 years.
Yeah, maybe longer than that. So, that being said, this giant Stargate with cranes on it in the middle of a park, because they don't do anything with it in the middle of the day, with these giant 4 taco shells that outline it.
The taco. I like the taco shells.
Now, originally they were supposed to do stuff, and I think that'd have been great if they did stuff during the day. I've never seen the music during the day. They don't do water shows like they said. They don't do projections and stuff on the charges like they said. It's just an eyesore in the middle of this beautiful architecture that you've just now blocked with this big Stargate metal structure.
Yeah, so to Brandon's point, when you walk up through, the eventual new future case or whatever the heck it is,
You're walking towards World Showcase.
When you're walking towards World Showcase, you used to be able to get the big view of America, and the building right
Japan,
there,
China, and everything just around.
and you can see it all around. Right now, because of the barges that are there permanently throughout the day, you cannot see America.
No, you got the big old Stargate blocking you.
Yeah.
And I'm forever going to call it a Stargate because whoever knows that show from the 90s and such, it's a big circle Stargate. It's what it is. It's a big grain screen. But to me, it's an eyesore. And is it pretty when it's lit up? It is. But they only light it up during the show and for 5 minutes after the show, and then they switch it right back off.
Well, that is another thing I don't understand. Why don't they just keep that going as people exit?
Exactly. At least let me see it. You spent all this money on this thing that can be beautiful, and then you just let it sit there and be a piece of trash.
I wouldn't say piece of trash. Let's calm that down. But
I think it's an eyesore.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and I know you're going to be like, oh, it's expensive. Yes, it's expensive. Everything's expensive. It's Disney. I'm gonna take them to the bank if I can take them to the bank.
Well, they clearly took themselves to the bank.
Yeah. But, you could have rolled those barges out like they used to do with Illuminations and such.
Oh, that's a big
They
barge.
have a bridge and such. You could have hit it better. You could have made it an island, make it look like a tree. You could have done all kinds of things with it. You could have themed it so it doesn't just look like a metal structure. Even if it was a rock structure around it to make it look like it's an old ruins in the middle of the lake, I would have liked that theming better than just iron.
Well, yes.
Yeah. I got you on that one. For a place that is supposed to be magic and theming, you have put an oil rig in the middle of my lagoon, and I will never forgive you for it. It's almost as bad as the Magic Hat in Hollywood Studios that was blocking my Chinese theater.
Nothing is as bad as the Magic Hat.
It's almost as bad. The only thing that forgives it is the night show. That's the whole reason you agree with it. If it didn't look pretty at night, you'd say it's just as bad as that stupid hat.
That hat was very frustrating. I never liked that.
To me, we could have done better. You could have themed it to look nicer, so it didn't ruin the whole aesthetic. You could have gotten a show.
Even if they don't theme it, so they should do shows during the day.
Yeah, they should do shows during the day.
How much extra does it cost? They don't have to do fireworks during the day, but to turn the water jets on, is that cost? It costs electricity. It costs
electricity and money and stuff, and pump maintenance and such. But I hate to say it, but Universal does shows during the day with their pumps and stuff because it's not continuous, but they do occasionally do an occasional show with music and have it timed out so it's cool.
Yeah, I don't see why. And to your point from the other night, from last night, that you don't even have to do all 4 of the barges. You can just do the center barge during the day, and it has 4 of those taco shells, as you like to call them.
Yeah, the taco shells could have been rolled out.
Yeah.
They don't have to be permanent. We could have rolled out the taco shells, planted them, and then that would have been great. Those would have fit for the bridge area.
Yeah, but I don't think rolling out that... You can't move that...
The center one, no. You can leave it, just theme it. So it's not an oil rig in the center of Epcot. It's about nature and, the world's coming together. It's almost like, hey, the world's around the oil rig.
Well, they kind of are now.
They kind of are, but that's going to bite us in the butt eventually. But I'd rather, even the show before Harmonious, where it was a celebration of Epcot, I forget the name of it, that was even better, because at least then you're going through the years of Epcot and celebrating what Epcot was. And now we're just going to celebrating movies. And I don't like that, because Walt was never about celebrating movies. The movies always funded the theme park, and the theme park would never fund his movies.
That's correct.
So, for Walt's image, and this Epcot was all of Walt's thing. Epcot was Walt's baby. Completely different than what it is now.
Yeah.
His idea for it was a full community, working community.
Yeah, that's never was.
So this whole thing was never his
idea.
But the premise of it, of bringing everyone together, was part of it, the Epcot experience for him. And I think just focusing on the movies for your show, I don't know, it kind of ruins it for me. You have other places that show off these same movies. You have Magic Kingdom that does the same exact, almost, it goes through Mulan, it goes through Hunchback, it goes through all these. But do we need that for every single venue?
Probably not. We probably don't need it. It's difficult to say, because if I'm looking at it in a business perspective, right, that's the shit that's popular. So why wouldn't I flood you with it, right? But I understand what you're saying. But all I have to say is the show is cool, so...
The show is decent, yes. It's a cool show.
See, whatever.
But it is off-brand of Epcot.
Well, it's off-brand of Epcot. I will give you that.
Thank you.
It is off-brand
of Epcot, and it's an eyesore.
Okay.
In the middle of the day. During the night, not as much an eyesore. During the day, eyesore.
That's why it's painted black, so you can't see it at night.
Well, maybe they need to think about that a little bit better and theme it like we're supposed to be doing. Bring me the magic. I want the magic.
I want it. Bring it back.
Bring back the magic. Even if you another way to hide it would be, you have all those cranes and stuff that go through the show. That whole archway could have easily been brought up and then brought together for those rain screens. You don't have to have the Stargate in the middle blocking the entire thing. You could have made it an island with trees and such. Well, big trees obviously because of fireworks. And then you could have had just the whole thing just lay itself down, and that way you never see it. It doesn't block your view. You can still see all of World Showcase. Hell, you could even have the tacos lay down like little lily pads and make little islands. There are other ways that I don't have to look at an oil rig and tacos. It sounds like a bad podcast. Oil rig and tacos.
It does sound that's oil rig and tacos.
I don't need oil rig and tacos in the middle of my Epcot.
That doesn't sound.
And don't get me wrong, I know some of you love it, but for me, it just kind of ruins it. You could have done better. I admit, even if they kept the show, I don't think I would be as pissed if there wasn't an oil rig Stargate thing in the middle of 4 tacos.
4 tacos. Hey, at least they give you an extra taco.
You
usually only get 3.
It looks like a weird taco, like around the star. It's weird. I don't approve.
You're very, very skeptical of this particular venue and also the show. So I understand. All I'm saying is that it was cool looking and the fireworks were really good, and I like the water. So everyone, the show is worth seeing. Don't listen to the cynic. It is.
I'm not saying don't see it. I'm just saying it could be better. And that's, once again, what we're about is making things better. So for me to sit here and say, oh, it's great, it's glorious, no, it could be better.
It could be better. I am giving you that it could be better.
Also, the one other thing, to Julie's point when she pointed it out to us, the false endings.
The false endings.
You could have, there were 3 or 4 false endings.
They did have false endings, yes.
So you could have easily had some background music just to show that it wasn't done yet. You could have had some more stuff on the screen. No, they just went right to black. Mm-hmm. And to me, that almost kills a show. because then you have people start clapping and cheering, and then they're like, oh, and then they got to kill their excitement down. And like, oh, okay. And then another fall, and then oh no.
Yeah, so there is false endings. So between multiple of the different characters that come on the screen and different videos that come on the screen, it does just go to black. And after you know all the fireworks are done, all of the water's turned off, all the lights are turned off, and it goes black, and then they bring up and it's something else. So it is kind of there's not really any transitions between the videos.
Yes. In no Disney, I expect better.
So as we are walking out, and we are moving on. So we are moving on from this. As we walked out, this is another thing that again we're going to stress on when you're there, especially now they're doing all the construction. Everything gets funneled into very, very tight corridors once again on the way out, and it's even worse because everyone's leaving at the same time. So be safe when you're leaving. Make sure you have your kids with you, and for those ECVs, don't run over anybody. Have a good time with that. Yeah. But as you go out, the Pillar of Light is there. It's gorgeous. They have done a lot of really good things with the front of the park, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to be doing in the middle section that the name still eludes me. I call it Future World, but it's not anymore.
No, World Celebration.
World Celebration.
Also, when you're going out to your cars, just remember everyone's going to be hitting that panic alarm. Everyone's going to be hitting the panic alarm. And people will be walking next to your car, and you will surprise them. I have seen people kick cars because out of shock or surprise, and then because someone decided they were like, panic. Just remember where you park. They have row numbers.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Yeah. It's not hard.
But when you just sit there and press the panic button or the beep alarm and all that kind of stuff, you get an orchestra of them throughout the entire parking lot. And so sometimes I would do it just to mess with people.
And even if you have a bad memory with things, you can always take a picture. We have these handy little dandy things called smartphones now, and they have cameras on them. Take a picture of your row number. Super simple, and you are good to go. But that is all for our trip to EPCOT.
Yeah, that was what we did.
That was what we did. We had a great time. We always have a great time.
Yeah.
That's true. Don't ever really have a bad time, and if we do have a bad time, we yell at each other for it. Yeah. So that is all, explorers. Please keep exploring.
Yeah, keep on going, and we'll hope to see you next time.